I look forward to this day all year. It's a bit of a grey, drizzly afternoon. It's very much the depths of winter still, but this is the time of year when citrus is in season on the continent all across Europe, and for a real small window, these are available. Seville oranges, and it's kind of become a bit of an annual tradition where, to brighten up what is a bit of a drizzly, grey afternoon, we make our own marmalade, and that's what we're doing today. So just in case you're new around here, we're Jack and Gabby, and this is our home, a 54-foot narrowboat moored in the Oxfordshire countryside. Please forgive her slightly rustic appearance. We've been building her from scratch since last year, and things have taken a bit of a back step over winter. In this cosy space, we both live and work alongside a snoozy dog called Tilly and our 3-month-old son called Joe. You gonna help me make some marmalade? Yeah? What do you think?
Look at you two colour coordinated today.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're looking great.
We're all kind of colour coordinated today.
Hey, I'm in pink as well.
Yeah, we're in like a lovely Saharan sunset. Look at that. What do you think of that? Lemon. Yeah, nearly. Lemon. We wanted to make this video because recently we've been wondering if our life is kind of boring. We're in our early 30s, and this is how we like to spend our time. Not doing big flash things, but tootling about at home, in the kitchen. I suppose, living a slow life. And this is a film about why we're okay with that.
Today's progress has been even slower than normal because this little guy has decided to be even chattier and even more awake than he ever is. Are you proud? Are you proud of yourself?
We often think that Tilly and Joe are working in league with one another. Normally what happens is just as we get Joe off for his nap, Tilly then livens up and decides that she needs a walk and a wee. You two work in cahoots, don't you? Yeah, that's what Joe. So I guess I probably need to explain what I mean by a boring life. You see, boat life itself comes with quite a long list of chores. In the winter, your time is spent chopping wood for the fire and trudging muddy towpaths. The summer, whilst glorious, is catching up on maintenance. Boats have a knack of breaking down. We've moved. No engine problems. Are you meant to use one of these when fixing an engine? Because I've had to. Power has to be managed either by solar panels or generators. Hopefully by doing that, should be able to maximise out on this sunshine today. Just quite like it. Outside nice and early. It's a nice day. And also, gives me a chance to show off my super stripy pyjamas. And at least one day every few weeks needs to be spent topping up the water tank and probably sorting out your loo. We've probably got about an hour whilst that tank tops up. It's one of the rhythms and routines of boat life. You know, you just sort of have to accept that things take time. A lot of your time off is spent doing fairly mundane tasks. I'm sure to some of you, this probably looks like a huge waste of time. If you're all cosy and at home and got the central heating with a clunk of a button, but yeah, I enjoy it. Weirdly though, for Gabby and me, these jobs are the kind of lifestyle we've been searching for. You see, we've always been drawn to a slightly more rustic life. We were the ones who would try and grow veg in the back garden.
What yourself?
Some big plastic pots.
Where from?
It sounds a bit scrubbery, but there's a skip down there. The lady didn't want them, so look at that. 3 pots. We'll spend weekends making bread or heading out foraging trug in hand. And when I lost my job in 2019, faced with very few options for where to live, a dose of serendipity drew us to our first floating home called Flora. What are we doing today?
We got to move the boats
Why?
because we've got to.
Oh, I love it when she talks like that. So it's hailing!
That would both get us to work.
We didn't bring tea. There's no tea. I think coming down the towpath, we might have the cavalry.
2 knocks up.
Yeah.
There's a pub boat.
A pub boat.
It's the best thing ever.
Before Flora, we'd never been on a narrowboat before. And to us, it was surprising how much this lifestyle becomes part of who you are. This will sound odd, but your boat quickly becomes like a friend. They have soul and personality. They need caring for. And whilst there are days where, trust me, you will fall out with your narrowboat, you quickly learn that those quirks are their charm and their flaws all part of their character. You see, when you move onto a boat, it's a life of compromise. Our home is just 54 foot long and 6 foot 10 inches wide. Really, it's a glorified corridor. And so, you learn to live with less, but to notice more.
A really big perk to this mooring spot is when we moored up last night, we noticed we are right next to 2 wild plum trees. So we're going to pick some and then scatter them over on morning porridge.
The outside becomes your entertainment. From foraging, fresh, wild oyster mushrooms, properly excited about this. I've been wanting to find oysters for ages, and here they are. To finding the joy in every season, no matter the weather.
And here we go in this final heat of this fine competition, the mud avoidance event. The new technique here employed by the redhead from Kent.
This is a massive one.
That's like a pizza slice of ice.
Look at it, it's huge. Right, you ready?
That was so cool. I love that, that was awesome.
The biggest thing though, it teaches you that the best moments come from the simplest of things. A home-cooked meal, making do and mending. Or time just spent gongoozling. Life on the water is a naturally slower way to live. For us, it's let us learn the joy of the ordinary.
I mean, just give it those moments sometimes. You're just like, what is this life? Just beautiful.
Even on a day like today, when we could easily head out and go and buy a jar of marmalade, this lifestyle has made us realise it's more about the process. The time spent chopping, juicing, making a mess in the kitchen together. It makes us feel content. Appreciating these small moments adds so much colour to what otherwise could just be the mundane.
We shared in last week's vlog how this year we've just managed to get ourselves an allotment, and we're really, really excited just by the prospect of being able to grow our own veggies, but also doing some of our own preserving, getting to the end of the season and bunging everything into a big chutney pan and making pickles and chutneys and all of that. And also I really want to learn more about fermentation as well. I want to do some sauerkrauts and kimchi. Just really excited.
I remember someone once, after me telling them that I lived on a boat, asking me, how does it feel to have quit life? And I wasn't sure how to react. I won't pretend and say there isn't a part of me that doesn't worry sometimes.
Because I'll be honest with you, I do have those days where I'm just like, this project is beyond me.
We've thrown our whole life savings into building our little floating tin can. She's rustic and homemade.
3, 2, 1. Oh!
But doing this has taught us so much about ourselves and each other.
I've got a new business.
Oh.
Out of these roof tiles,
Yeah.
coasters.
Sometimes, though, there is that voice in the back of my head. The one that's full of doubts and questions if we've made the right life choices. We've both chosen to take a slight step back from our careers to pursue this way of life, choosing to earn enough to cover our expenses and hopefully buy more time. And deep down, we know that at some point we're going to need more space. But when it comes to the question of quitting life,
That's lovely.
Amazing what a bit of sugar can do, isn't it?
I'm reminded of a quote from The Way Home by Mark Boyle, where after a year of living in a small cabin, working and living off the land with no modern technology, he says, instead of spending my life making a living, I wanted to make living my life. Who knows where we'll be in 5 years' time? No one really has any idea what the future has in store. And really, I guess this life is kind of dull. It's not fast-paced. On the surface, it's not that exciting. But there's a lot to be said for contentment and everyday simple pleasures. So that's why we live like we do. And we're both very grateful to have stumbled on this tiny life afloat. Thank you for watching, and if you don't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and hopefully we'll see you next time.